Ginger Princess. What's up, guys? First off, we want to thank you guys for I love how we did that at the same time.
Yeah, we knew what we were.
We knew.
Yeah.
We want to thank y'all for 2,000 subscribers. Woo! Thank y'all for following us on our journey. We love you guys, and we love sharing our lives with you guys.
And continuing on that, we wanted to take a deep dive and answer some of the most commonly asked questions for interracial couples. I think there's a lot to learn by addressing some of these questions. The tough ones, the easy ones, the ones that just really get under your skin, you know? We are on the way to the country today, so we got our baby in the back. We got baby stuff, as you can see.
He's sleeping, so he probably won't have much to say this video. Yeah,
he's napping. But if he wakes up, you'll know, because he is very talkative nowadays.
Yes. Let's dive right into it, guys. Question number 1. How do you handle conversations about race with your friends and family?
I think it's a great one for you to start.
Okay. Living in the city that we live in Memphis. It's a very diverse community. Where I went to high school, it's very diverse. A lot of black people, a lot of white people. We all just kind of mingled together. Just having those uncomfortable conversations when necessary.
Yeah, I would say number 1, the obvious one, is just actually have those conversations.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just assume, or they don't want to address anything, and they just, kind of hide behind their beliefs. I think so just having those conversations, and anything like in the news that's going on that's relevant, or anything in our own lives that we experience, it's just good to have those conversations. Yeah. So thankfully, like Megan said, like we live in a pretty diverse community. While there's probably not as many interracial couples, there are it's a good mix. I mean, Memphis is like 60% black people and then 40% white and other. So it's very mixed.
The main one that is talked about a lot between like our friends and your family would be like police brutality. It just seems to not be an understanding on both ends. It may be now more of an understanding after having those conversations.
Right.
But that's the main thing.
It's tough because, I'm not a black person, and, a lot of our friends aren't. So, by not being black, you don't truly understand. So I think a lot of people who, don't see police brutality or don't think it's real, or just think it's like, well, you're not going to know. Like you haven't, if you haven't like really had those hard conversations with your friends, assuming you have like friends that have gone through this, then you're not going to truly know. And I think a lot of people just don't put themselves in other people's shoes. They just think that everybody gets treated one blanket way, the same, and unfortunately that's not the case. I want to hope that that's getting better, but it's definitely we're not there. So
but I think just the difference is just being receptive to learning more about it.
True.
Just because it doesn't happen to you and your family doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. All right, question number 2. Have you, Trevor, experienced any unique challenges as a white man in an interracial relationship with a black woman?
I say embracing culture, but I'm pretty sure that's another question.
How cute Trevor is. Look at this. He's so handsome.
I did just shave, and for once I didn't mess up. It's like kind of even. Look at that.
He's so cute. Trevor's so funny. He'll do his mustache, and then he'll be just like feeling, and he's like, I need to go shave again.
Because one side won't be even, and I'll notice it's longer on one side. Like, you're not gonna notice.
Very particular about like even stuff. Y'all should see the stuff that's hanging in our house.
Straight.
Not a single thing is crooked in that
90-degree angles.
Yeah, but I'm glad because I just buy all this stuff and pick it out. And
you're OCD too. We're both OCD.
I mean, but I don't like to like put it up, so that's why we work. So like I can pick it out because he goes with everything I do, which is awesome, and I love that. And he hangs it up for me and builds it for me and everything.
I'm a builder. Megan already touched on this, but honestly, just going into it very open-minded, like going into the relationship open-minded, because I've never been in an interracial relationship before. So just being able to kind of take off my blinders, so to speak, and just embrace everything, I would say that that's just right out the gate, just something I had to do. I wouldn't say that was like a challenge, but it was just
you were never, like, I never questioned. He was never closed-minded, or like when I would tell him something, he would be like, wow, like, I get it.
I would say one of the biggest challenges for me is having to navigate certain parts of my family not understanding, and having to, essentially cut them off if they're not willing to give Megan a chance. And thankfully things have gotten a lot better across the board, but unfortunately that was just something that, you know, I knew I signed up for. You know, I knew, especially whenever, you know, we got engaged and got married and now we have a baby. It's like, this is my person and this is my family. So
Yes.
I would say that's probably honestly the biggest challenge for me.
Good answer. Question number 3. Have you faced any negative reactions or comments from strangers in public? We've never gotten comments from anybody, but we have definitely gotten a lot of like negative looks.
Yeah, I would say, thankfully, if they have, I just haven't paid attention.
Yeah, I've stopped paying attention,
Yeah.
but we definitely like we get looks.
Yeah,
especially after having a baby. Like,
I can literally only think of one time where we had any kind of comment, and it was negative, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
when
And it's not to shame any particular city, because we love this city, but I remember when we were downtown in Atlanta, a dude did walk by, and he was like, "Wow, you bringing a white man down here?" You remember that?
oh yeah.
But it was just, I mean, that's like one offhanded comment. We were downtown. I think we were in the underground, like the cool little art scenery place
Yeah, I don't even
in Atlanta.
remember that.
And but yeah, again, it's like,
Yeah.
neither here nor there. But thankfully, like I said, we either just don't pay attention to it, or at this point, it just doesn't faze us, and we don't. It's more so the looks.
Yeah.
Like Megan said, it's like people are still too shy to come out and say how they really feel. So
But
it's
then
just
again,
looks.
I feel like we're so good looking. Maybe they're just looking at us because they're like, wow, look at those two beautiful people together
Look at
with
you.
their beautiful baby.
I mean, my goodness.
Question number 4. Do you feel pressure to be an ally in the fight against racial inequality?
Not pressured at all. I'm happy to, and I continue to.
Do you feel like you would be if you weren't married to a black woman?
No, I mean, I've been an ally for a long time. I've done numerous projects with black artists,
Yeah.
and 'cause
You
I was a
definitely,
producer and I was a
yeah.
videographer, and I worked with black artists for like 7 or 8 years doing different.
And Trevor's
you know.
not one of those people that's like, oh, I have black friends. Like, you know how you talk to
Oh, yeah,
those
I'm
white
not saying
people that
that,
are
yeah.
like, oh, I have black friends. He's not one of
Yeah,
those.
no, I'm just
He
saying I've
has
like
been an
specifically
ally.
done projects that are, you know, like specifically about raising awareness. Yeah, but I see the injustice, especially being married to, you know, a black woman and a beautiful blak woman.
He's so sweet.
So I mean, I'm always like willing to speak up, and I do, especially since I unfortunately have had to do it with multiple family members and just people in our circle and you know, people online. So yeah, I don't feel pressured at all. I'm absolutely happy to. I think that unfortunately silence can lead to a lot of violence, and her brother and I and Megan, and we actually had like 2 other people on the song too. We have a video that I'll put in the bio below. It's specifically about, you know, injustice.
Question number 5.
High five.
How do you address or educate your children about racial issues and identity? So this is a great one. Our son is only 3 months old, so
3.5.
3.5 months old. So we have not talked to him about that yet because he doesn't understand yet. When that does happen, like, it'll be very important to teach him about his black culture and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think with him being mixed, it's just going to be important for him to see both sides of our family, especially your side, and be well aware of you know, how society looks and how society treats people of color. So, you know, obviously there's like beautiful, loving things about the black culture, so it's not going to be all negative by any means. It's just more so going to be trying to make him aware of everything. And thankfully she has like a super accepting, loving, beautiful family that will absolutely do that for him. And my family that's going to be in his life are going to treat him just as they would me, and be as you know, loving and caring as ever. So I think just having both sides, just shedding positive light, you know.
Yes. Beautiful. Question number 6.
This is hard to do.
Why'd you do this? That's weird.
If you could hold up 3,
if you hold up a 6, who does this?
Okay, if you're gonna hold up a 3, how are you gonna do it?
I'm just talking about, like, if you hold up the number 6, you don't, like, have you had to confront any stereotypes about black women or white men in your relationship? Yes. I would say for me, I kind of touched on this in our last video. You know, I get the comment all the time that, you know, I'm whitewashed, or I'm not truly black because I'm married to a white man.
Ignorant.
Which is extremely ignorant. I really just say, like, you know, we preach and we cry that we want equality, but you're hounding on me for being with a white man because he's white. Like, that's the only reason. I just feel like I've done so much to really educate Trevor on the black community, and he's so open to learning about it. So it really hurts hearing, like, oh, you're whitewashed, or oh, you're this, or oh,
you sound white. You
sound white. You know, like, that is the main thing that has really irritated me, is that I sound white, which I, to this day, do not understand what that means. To me, it's an insult, because it just seems like people are saying, like, oh, black people can't sound educated.
So stop saying stuff like that if you were somebody who says stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not a compliment, I promise.
Not at all.
I promise.
Yeah, I think people don't quite, like, understand.
Yeah, it's like, why would I, like, first of all, I don't understand what it means.
Because you're right. Some people try to say it as a compliment.
Yeah, and I'm like I don't understand that. Secondly, like, it's not a compliment at all.
Yeah, because then you're starting the conversation assuming that most black people sound like this.
Yes, exactly.
You're happy
because then when I say, well, what do black people sound like? You know, they can't answer that.
So one I see online a lot is being a white man married to a black woman, that I'm taking this black woman from the black community, or that I've, like, I don't know, and I literally hate that, because, you know, I don't, you know, I love Megan every ounce of my being for everything that she is, and I'm not taking anyone.
He's not taking me, like, he's not taking my blackness away. Like, I'm still blackity black. I'll say it again. So, you know, it's stupid. So yeah, if you say that too, cut it out.
A little bit just woke up, just heard him yawn.
Question number 7. Have you found that your relationship has changed your perspectives on race and identity?
Yeah, I think for me, like, it's opened my eyes to the point where, you know, it's not just me in the world. It's not just white people in the world. Like, there's other perspectives and there's other lifestyles. You know, it's not just me. Like, she has a pretty diverse family as well. And like my brother's in an interracial marriage, and I'm just seeing just different cultures. So it's just letting me know that, you know, I'm not the only culture. I'm not the only, you know, race of people in the world, which sounds kind of dumb. Like, obviously it's more than just white people in this world, but when you only see through the lens of a white person, sometimes you start to just think that this is just how things are, and this is how it is for everybody, and that's not the case. For me, it's definitely opened my eyes, and in a positive way. You know, like, I really see there's beauty in this world in every corner.
Exactly.
Made well aware. Yeah, we're out in the country. You wave at people when you drive by. So.
All right. So we are pulling up at our destination. So we're going to finish it up with our last question. Question number 8. 8 is great.
You
did that? Yeah, I was going to say, weirdo. How do you celebrate and embrace the diversity in your relationship? I would say we embrace it by being unapologetically me the entire time. Now, I'm still able to embrace his upbringing, you know, the countryside, fishing, riding 4-wheelers, all the fun stuff, but still being me and not changing who I am to adapt to something. And, you know, I'd say the same for him.
Yeah, for me, like I've been harping on this entire video, just embracing her culture, you know, learning and growing and living, you know, as, you know, a man in an interracial marriage. And I love her family. I love her brothers. Like, we're so close. Yes, and it's just awesome. You know, it's just such a good time. And, you know, and raising our little baby. I think you can actually see him in the mirror. Yeah. He's ready to get out. But all right, we're gonna wrap this up. But we love you guys. Thank y'all again for the 2,000 mark. As always, like, subscribe, turn push notifications on, and
peace and blessings.